Phantom is a humanoid robot, and this is what's inside its head. You don't have to be a biologist or an engineer to know that this is probably not its brain. So what is it? And how does it help Phantom navigate the world? When building a humanoid robot, some things just make sense. You need at least 2 legs, 2 arms, and 2 hands to do what we do. However, our heads, like most animals, with their brain, ears, eyes, nose, and mouth, are made for sensing the world around us. But have you ever stopped to think why all those important parts are stuffed into a single exposed part of the body? What can we learn from that? Imagine you're in a large, dark room, so dark you can't see anything. Suddenly, a light turns on one side of the room. You're probably more likely to move that way as opposed to away from what you can now see. This might be why animals started moving forward and then more sensory organs became concentrated towards that one side. This common evolutionary trend towards having a head at all is called cephalization. The other trend that we can observe is that eyes tend to be as high up as they can get. This maximizes the horizon line, allowing us to see threats or food from a greater distance. That's a trait worth emulating, which is why Phantom has cameras on its head and not on its feet. But that still doesn't explain why our brains aren't safely tucked away in our chests like they are here on Phantom. That might be because our nerve impulses max out at around 120 meters per second. That's about 2.5 Roman Colosseums tall. But with electronics, a signal can travel at nearly 99% the speed of light, or 6,250,000 Roman Colosseums per second. With speeds that fast, there's no need to put the computer as close to the cameras as our brain might need to be to our eyes. Also in Phantom's head, we have IMU sensors to record velocity, orientation, and motion. All this together generates heat, and for those who have dissected any electronics before, you might recognize this piece, a heat sink. A heat sink's job is to drain the heat away from important components. Since we aren't using liquid cooling like the brain, this heat sink works by having a high thermal mass, or the property of a material to absorb and retain heat, which it then dissipates out into the air with the help of all that extra surface area. Add in a couple motors and you have yourself a Phantom head. Not too many other pieces in there?
No, I think those are the main components on the head. So basically, movement is controlled by neck yaw, neck pitch actuators, and the cameras feed into the microcontroller, feed back to the computer.
So with all these pieces put together, what does it actually look like to be in Phantom's head? What does Phantom actually see? Okay, I used a little artistic license there, but if you're curious how Phantom's brain actually works, be sure to subscribe so you can see that video when it comes out. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.